have thought that a Godzilla movie may be my favorite movie of the year? Godzilla Minus One tells the story of a kamikaze pilot as he and a group of people gather to stop the sudden emergence of Godzilla. Hello and welcome back to another review from HLHReviews. Today I will be reviewing Godzilla Minus One, the latest Godzilla film from Toho. It is the 33rd Godzilla movie from Toho, and it's the 37th overall Godzilla film. To set this up really quickly, last year I decided to watch all of the Godzilla movies, and you know, just a year, you know, passes by. I can have some, you know, decent enjoyment out of this entire franchise. The original movie from 1954, just called Godzilla or Godzilla, it is one of my all-time favorite movies. Just so we're clear, I mean, despite my love for that original movie, I am not a fan of the Showa era, and it's mainly due to the varying degrees of quality throughout that era. The Heisei era might be my favorite era of this franchise, and it's mainly because I liked how it was an overall one storyline. Godzilla 98, like that movie, that's not even worth mentioning, because that movie's just, it's not a Godzilla movie whatsoever, so just, I have to bring it up just because, but it's not even worth, like, mentioning. I enjoyed the Millennium era, and I do get some, you know, decent enjoyment out of this new era, Reiwa, hope I'm pronouncing that right, as well as the Monsterverse from Warner Brothers. I'm going to be looking forward to the new Monsterverse film coming in March of next year, and I'll be on the lookout for that Monarch show on Apple TV, so I'll get around to that one. But back to Godzilla Minus One, I was really enthusiastic for this movie, and it's especially considering, really, that it would be the first Godzilla film from Toho that I would see in theaters. The trailers completely blew me away. I mean, after all, you saw my reaction to watching the official trailer that came out. That completely blew me away, and I had this feeling, just from watching the trailer alone, that this might be the best Godzilla movie since the original. Well, let's just say that not only is this the best Godzilla movie since that original film, but it may be in competition of being my favorite movie of the year. Let's get into why. So let's start this off with the positives. The biggest one for me is the story and the characters. This film has the strongest narrative I have seen for a kaiju film, and definitely has the strongest story that we have gotten thus far since that original movie from 1954. Most of the time when you go to watch a Godzilla movie, even if it's from Toho, the basic expectation you can go out of watching these is just seeing Godzilla destroying buildings and seeing him kick a monster's ass. Well, I can certainly say that's not the case whatsoever in Godzilla Minus One. The movie has a strong narrative involving this kamikaze pilot who has had this traumatic experience to him that involved with Godzilla during World War II. And over the years since, he has not gone over this whatsoever. I mean, even when he's found his love interest and they both adopt this daughter that she found. And this only gets worse from him as soon as Godzilla emerges, and after he destroys a nearby city, it drives him of wanting to kill Godzilla so he can end this personal war that he has not been able to end for years. Now, a strong narrative like that is strengthened when you get invested with the characters, including the lead character. I was attached to him throughout the whole film, and I wanted to see him kill Godzilla. Which, by the way, the acting in this film, it's pretty damn decent from a foreign film. Especially the lead guy who plays the kamikaze pilot. I thought he did a fantastic job in that role. A criticism that I definitely see from fans of the King of the Monsters himself is that the movies tend to focus too much on the humans and not enough on Godzilla. For me, it's fine if you wanna go that route. That's perfectly fine. Okay, like as long as you're able to give us a compelling story with characters to get invested in. And Godzilla Minus One, whew, this movie delivers that in spades. And this, the story and the characters, it's enough for you to get invested in. And you can thank Takashi Yamazaki for that. Not only does he have like a great direction and just wrote this really strong narrative and great characters for you to get invested in, but the visual effects that he did for the movie just blew me away. Which, by the way, this is like the first time I've seen a movie where you have a director who's also the writer, but he also was a director for the visual effects. Like, I've never seen that before. And this guy, he fucking blew it away. In all three of these categories, he fucking blew that shit away in spades. This movie has the best visual effects I have ever seen for a Godzilla movie, and it baffles me that this film only costed $15 million. Like, and just comparing to the Hollywood blockbusters that we have been getting so far this year, they cost up to around $200 million. And honestly, it baffled me so much, but in the end, it goes to show that you don't need a lot of money to make great visual effects. And I wish Hollywood can look at movies like this. Like, they can look at movies like Godzilla Minus One and see that not every action or a superhero movie needs to cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make visual effects. And because most of the time, the final product of these visual effects, it looks like something that they only invested in for like $1 million or $2 million. Just everything that breaks in this movie, everything that explodes feels so real. And they even do a good job of mixing practical and CGI to the point where it just blends so well, and you really can't tell the difference between the two, including Godzilla himself. And by the way, I loved seeing like his dorsal spine sprout up as he's like preparing his atomic breath. Like Takashi Yamazaki or whoever the hell came up with that idea, you did a pretty damn decent job on that. Which, speaking of Godzilla, I loved the action that involves with him. The action, it's no different than any other Godzilla movie you can watch where he's fighting the militaries and there's explosions and crashing into buildings. I mean, even seeing the buildings fall. It's the regular stuff of what you would go to, or what you would come to expect from a Godzilla movie. And it's all here. It's your average, it's the same stuff that we've seen, but there's also variety here. Now, a main example for me in terms of variety is you have the lead character, and I'll just call them his shipmates. You have the lead character and his shipmates, they're traveling in the ocean, and all of a sudden Godzilla emerges, and, they start chasing him, and Godzilla moves like he's the shark from Jaws, and the lead characters and his crew, they try to do everything to stop Godzilla, like shooting a 20mm cannon and just setting off mines. Like, even one gets in his mouth. It's great shit. It's just a great action scene that not only keeps you on the edge of your seat, but it gives a variety of action, and while also giving you the type of action you would expect from a Godzilla movie. final positive I will say is that the movie has great themes of pain and suffering. Like not only do the characters go through this, but so does the country of Japan, coming from a country that went through a terrible war. Which, if you know, if you know basic history of like Japan and World War II, like, it's not a good thing that happened. Like, that's all I have to say. Like, it was not a good thing that happened for them. Not only that, but it's very similar to what you would find in the original, and you know, the original movie had its themes. You know, it had similar themes of like using Godzilla's terror and destruction as like a comparison of the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All the themes that they are doing in this movie, like, they are helped by having this strong narrative and characters that can kind of get under your skin, and you know, you can understand and even sometimes emotionally feel those themes. On to my only mixed aspect, which it's only a minor nitpick, I should say. I don't really have much criticism towards Godzilla Minus One. I'm not sure if this is like a theater issue I had, or if it was just an issue within the movie itself, but during a scene in the first act that involved the lead character and Godzilla, like, the lighting was dark. Like, it was dark to the point where I just really couldn't tell what was going on in the scene that much. And again, this is only a minor nitpick, and I'll see how I feel about this upon further rewatches. But just sitting in a theater and just, like, you know, seeing the lighting being dark, like, to the point where you can't see it, like, it's just too dark for my taste. But overall, film completely blew me away, man. Like, Godzilla Minus One, not only the best Godzilla film since the original, but is definitely one of the best movies of the year. And it may end up being my favorite film of the favorite movie of the year, but we'll have to see once I rank the movies I saw this year. And don't worry, that's coming. I would love to see Takashi Yamazaki come back to direct another Godzilla movie. Without question, I would love to see a continuation of this story, because especially for how it ended, like, I think it begs to have a continuation. But given that this is Toho, and you know, you just never know what they do, but I would love to see a continuation of this story, because just for me personally, I would love to go back to this world, and just would love to see how the story goes on from there, if we do get a sequel. So if you are a fan of the King of the Monsters himself, strap yourself in for an emotional, strong narrative, great characters to get invested in, as well as awesome visual effects and great action. Definitely watch this right now in the theater, and when it comes out on home media, buy it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Tell me how you feel about this film down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, and to see a lot more reviews from me in the near future, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you can get notified every time I upload. I hope you all have a blessed life. In case I don't ever get to meet you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.